once again, and in today's tutorial I am going to teach you about the counters. As in the last lecture we have uh, we have seen that the timers operation. Now we are going to work on counters operation. So there are also, here you can see basically there are two types of counter: up counter and down counter. But whenever you talk about the combo, so you can see the combination of up and down counter. CTU up count, okay, it will count up, and this is CT means that it's going to count down, CTD, okay. And after that we will see the combination of that particular counter. So first of all I am just picking it and dropping it here. So you can see the single instance data block of the counter. So I am just clicking OK here, and then I will be having the counter block over there. So this is DB1 of the counter, and right now you can see that CU is, this is the input. The pulse will be given from this pin, okay. So here right now I am just taking this AX0, I0.0, and this 0, which is your I0.0, will be your up counter sensor, And whenever you talk about counter or any the block which occupies space or retain the memory, so for that you have to take the reset button. So right now I'm going to take the reset button over here, and the reset button would be, I'm just taking NO contact, or sorry, here I am going to take the NO contact, and this NO contact is going to be the reset push button of your this counter block. So for that I'm just writing it here, I0.1. This would be the physical address. So the pin has been connected. Now this is the PV, as I have already told in my previous videos. The PV is your preset value there, where you are going to set the value, that how many pulses you are going to receive, and after that value your timers block will be enabled, take or energized. So what would happen that when your timers block energized, the NO contact will convert into NC, and the NC block converted into NO, normally open or normally closed. But for the time being I am going to take here the output as well, but before getting the output I am just putting it here 5. Okay, so the CV is where the CV is the place where you will be able to see that how many blocks or how many pulses have been counted. Okay, for example, I have to show that on HMI that how many blocks has been counted. So for that I have to use that address which I am going to provide on that particular CV. And for CV, as far as CV is concerned, I am going to use MW0. Okay, MW0 is the register, 16-bit 16-bit data register, basically 16-bit word. You know that in a word we have 16 bits, so this is the same thing which I am going to take. Okay, and a part of that, if you talk about the Q, so simply I'm going to take a coil over here, and the address of the coil will be Q0.0. In order to write in a good way, or what is the approach of a good programmer, he has to always declare or would define the tags for each input, so and output as well. So there's a boolean tag one, so this would be my up counter. Let me write up count. This would be my up counter, and I0.1 is basically my reset push button. So I'm gonna write here reset push button, and MW0 you can write, this would be your HMI value. Okay, so where you will be able to see how many pulses on the counter. Basically counter receives the pulses, so the value which I have declared 5 is the number of pulses. If 5 pulses it receives, so the output will be energized. Okay, so last but not the least, the Q0.0. This would be my what the output, and the output, let's say I'm writing it here, this is the motor. Okay, motor number 1. So that was the tags which I have defined. So you can see over here that every tag has been defined properly, and then I'm just compiling that, and after the compilation what you will be able to see, the program has been compiled with 0 error, 0 warning. Now I'm gonna download that particular program into my physical PLC, and after downloading that I will turn on the monitoring on off. Let it be downloaded. So after that CTU, I'm gonna work on CTD. So the program has been downloaded. Let me turn on off the monitoring on, and you know, so most probably you would be able. Let me show you the hardware as well. So this is the hardware you will be able to see. This is I0.0, I0.1, I0.2 and so on. This is my Q0.0 which I have used here. As you can see on my screen, this is my Q0.0 which is off right now. So this is my I0.0. When I push this, the pulse will be as the number 0 will be increased to 1, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now db1 and mw0 holds the value number 4. Now when the pv, which is 5, and the mw0, which is your current value, gets equal, so what would happen? Your q0.0 will be turned on like this. Okay, so now the output, as you can see, this has been turned on. But what happens if you talk about specifically, so you would be able to see that the output has been turned on, but if I provide pulse, so the number of pulses has been increased, but the output is still on. Why? Because it needs to be reset to restart the process. So for example, not for example, but surely this is our I0.1. When I push this, all the value goes to 0. So this is the this is the process, and this is the process of your the CTU count. So now let me show you. So now let me show you the different counter, which is your CTD. So for that, I'm just turning it off. And then I'm just, I'm going to take this particular counter here, let's suppose. Okay. So, and for that I am using here, let's suppose I am using here I0.3, I0.2. okay, and then my LD would be the load. As you were looking there, in order to the reset the program or the memory of the CTU, we have to press the reset button, then it again comes to 0. But what about the down counter? For example, in order to count down, you have to fulfill something, you have to fill your rack. So this is LD, this is your load. Whatsoever the value you insert or you feed on your PV, after pressing this load button, this PV has to be shifted on your CV on that particular way. Okay, let me show you. So first of all, I'm just taking it one push button. Okay, so PV I'm again keeping it 5, and the CV would be my MW10. Let me have it, and the LD would, and this would be my I0.3. So I'm just keeping it I0.3, and then I'm taking the output over here. The output I'm going to take Q0.1, and if you want to assign tags, you can, but right now I am not doing that, because I have told you that how you are going to do that, and I have compiled that. I am downloading that particular program. So the program is going to be downloaded, and yeah, you have to wait a little bit. So the program has been downloaded, and now I'm turning on the monitoring on off. So you would see that right now PV is 5, and the dB value, which is your MW10, which you can see on MW10, the value is 0. When I press this I0.3, the value is going to be loaded. This value, which is 5, is going to be loaded on that dB and MW10. How? Let me show you. So this is the button, the selector switch which I have, wired at which I have wired at I 0.3. So when I press this, you can see the I 0.3 is enabled here. You can see as well, and on the software you can see I 0.3 is energized, and the value which I was talking about earlier, the 5 has been shifted, moved towards this. Okay, so it is not shifted, but it is loaded. You can say whenever the CTD, the down counter comes, you would see that the value is going to be shifted. So now I am just releasing it. Okay, but the value has been shifted. Okay, it's not going to be moved anywhere else. So the countdown sensor which I have connected or wired at I 0.2. So this is my I 0.2. When I press 1, it is going to be decreased because it's down counter. 3, 2, 1, and when it becomes 0, the output Q0.1 will be uh, you can see it will light up that way. So this is the the basic phenomena of the CTD counter. Now I am going to talk about the combo CTUD. So I am going to delete both network. Okay. I am deleting both network, and now I have deleted. So now I am just dragging and dropping this CTUD. So what is the purpose of CTUD? Because it is a combo, it is a combination of up and down counter in a single block. It is very useful in your programming, and the approach of a good programmer is always that he uses not separately but in a combo way, so the program size and the length of the program can be shorted. So for example, CTU was I 0.0. So let me connect here I 0.0, I 0.0, and the CTD was I 0.1, I 0.2, it was I 0.2. I'm going to rename that, and this is your R. R is your reset button. You can you can connect the physical like this. If I connect on R, or you may keep it empty as well, because you are going to insert the value of tag, physical tag. And the LD is your load button. So R is preset. Basically it is going to be used for CU time, CU counter, your up counter, and LD is your load, which is going to be used for your down counter. So I am going to keep one more data here. Suppose I 0.1, and then for LD I am going to use I 0.3. So the PV which I am keeping is 5 again, and QU is your the output. So this would be my Q 0.0, and QD is my down counters output. So I am keeping it Q 0.1, and I am just renaming them. So for that you have to rename the tag. So wait, this is Q 0.1. This would be my let's suppose motor number 2, or I am just keeping it the down sensor, the down, okay, down one, and Q 0.0 is my up output. Okay, so a part of that I am just keeping same. I have to compile that one, and now I have to compile the program as well. I'm compiling it. Okay, so the one thing which I have not connected here, but the program can be run, but I have to show you this. I have to connect here the the AMD 150. Let's suppose you can take AMD 15 as well. So it's just the registered number, and I'm downloading that particular program into the PLC. So loading that. successfully it's been downloaded. Now I am turning on the monitoring on. Let me show you. Which you can learn from me. And I just also want to make the thing very easy. I hope you are getting all my point in a very good way and you are liking my video. If you are not the part of my online training session, so you can become the part of that. And for that, for your reference, I have shared my WhatsApp number as well. There you can contact me via WhatsApp number.